Hey everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So today is my first installment in a new project or goal that I have for myself, and that is to read all of Charles Dickens' work in chronological order. So I have read a few of his books before. The most recent one was A Christmas Carol because I read that every year. So I'm really looking forward to diving back into his novels and just being in his world because he is one of my favorite Victorian authors. He's not for everyone, but I really enjoy him. So the first book, his first book, is The Pickwick Papers. And this is also his funniest and least serious book. So it was written in serialized format in monthly installments, so it is chunky. This follows the story of Mr. Pickwick, Sam Weller, and the entire Pickwickian club and their shenanigans that they get up to. So this book doesn't have an overarching plot like his other works do. It's more episodic in nature. They start out in their meeting and you learn what the Pickwick Club is about, and then they get into some trouble, shenanigans ensue. A lot of the time it's well-meaning and it just doesn't work out that way, and then that gets cleared up and then they get into another situation and more shenanigans ensue, and so it's really just a good time. And I laughed out loud quite a bit while reading this, and I read it fairly quickly for the size. Mr. Pickwick himself is a very entertaining character in that he has the best intentions, but sometimes the execution doesn't always go as planned, and he's just completely clueless sometimes. And I think we all know someone like that in our lives. So, for example, there's a scene or a story where he ends up climbing over the wall of a girls' school, and his intention was to let them know that there's a scoundrel going around that is just horrible and they need to watch out for him. But because he scaled the wall and basically broke in, they think that he's the scoundrel, and so he has to get himself out of that situation, and it's just extremely comedic. Another great character is Sam Weller. He is Mr. Pickwick's manservant. They have such a great relationship and I love it so much. And Sam is so eccentric and his sense of humor is just hilarious. Charles Dickens is so good at writing characters and characterization. I know in some of his other books he can get heavy-handed with the caricatures, but I feel like in this book it's more toned down and more accessible and a lot more realistic. Like, reading this, I thought about people in my life that would do things like this, and it just made it even funnier. So, Lucy, can I perform my art, please? This book does center around male friendship, which I do really enjoy. I think it's very well done. I will say I wish there were more female characters. They're really not represented in this book, which is why it's not my favorite Dickens, but it was still quite enjoyable. So I don't think this is the best place to start because it is very episodic and there's not an overarching plot. So I think if you're not used to his writing or you're kind of intimidated, I think you would be better off starting with one of his more well-known works like Oliver Twist or Great Expectations. But little girl, sit down. We're just gonna deal with the Kraken. Overall, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I would definitely reread it again. And I do recommend the audiobook. It just makes the comedic parts even funnier. So definitely check this out. And have you read this? If so, please let me know down below. Or if you want to let me know you're here but you don't have anything to add, drop your favorite emoji down below. As always, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.